So in the series of learning C programming, from this video I am going to start a new concept in C, that is structure in C. So whenever a new concept comes, the first question would be in your mind, what, why we need this concept, why we need structure. So that's exactly we will discuss in this video, like what is structure and why we need structure, right, and how to declare a structure then with example and some very important points about structure, about declaration of structures that you cannot miss out. So now let's discuss what is structure in C and why we need structure. See, first of all, why we need variable. If you want to store a value in computer memory, then we need a variable. Like I want to store an integer value that is 5. So how you will store? We will declare a variable like int type, int a is equal to 5. This is variable name, this is data type, and this is how we can store a value, right? If you want to store suppose 60 values, like roll numbers of 60 students, so we use arrays. I hope you are clear with this, why we use arrays, that we have already discussed. You can watch out that previous video, right? So how you will declare an array? Int, suppose name I am taking a only and the size is 60. So here we can store roll number or any integer value, 60 integer value like 1 to 60, or you can say roll numbers of 60 students. If I say int roll number, so roll number of 60 students we can store under a single variable name, that is roll number. That's why we need arrays. Like arrays are homogeneous, collection of homogeneous data item, means we can store more than one data item of same data type, right? But see, in real life, obviously we have to process data of different data types. Like what? Suppose I want to store information of a student. So information of a student means roll number of a student, you can say name is also there, marks, then maybe address and many other things are there, but here I am taking only 3 things. So here see, roll number would be of type integer, name would be of type you can say string, right, and marks would be of type maybe float. So we are having 3 data types, different types of information we have about a student, like int, then string, then float, or maybe address is there, then also you can say float or maybe string. Many information is there about a student, right? And there are 60 students suppose, or at first we take suppose only 2 students. So what you can do? One thing is what? For student 1, let's take for student 1 and this data is for student 2. For student 1 I can take different variables like int, roll number, char, name, and here you can give size like 20, and here you can take float, marks. But for student 2 also you are supposed to take 3 different variable. For roll number like int, this is for student 1, roll number S1, name S1, marks S1. This would be student for student 2, roll number S2, char, name S2, 20, float, and this is for student 2, marks S2. So for storing this information for 2 students, we have taken 6 variables, and suppose we have 60 students. So you can imagine how many variables you are supposed to take. And here in information we have only 3 things, Suppose you are making a software, obviously for student information, maybe for university you are supposed to make a software to store the information of student also, faculty also, and everything. So how many variables you will take? Obviously it is not possible to take variables to store the data, right? So now we will take, maybe you can take arrays, but in array, yeah, we can store roll numbers of 60 students, like more than one student, the data of more than one student, but that data should be of same type, homogeneous. Like suppose this is an array int, roll number, and 60. So in this array we can store only 60 integer value, right? I am taking float, marks 60. Here you can store marks of 60 students, but that would be of float type only. So here also you need to take different arrays, right? one array for roll number, one for name and one for marks, 3 arrays. That is also not convenient to use, right? So, is it possible to declare or to take different data types, all these variables under a single name, right? Yes, it is possible. That is using structures, right? So, structure, see, int is what? Data type. Array is what? Also a data type, but it's not primitive. Primitive data types are what? Or you can say fundamental data types are what? Int, char, float, double, right? Then user defined data types are there, then derived data types are there. So, array is derived data type. Structure is also a data type, but structure is what? User defined data type. Means we can define our own data type, right? Using, how you can define your own data type? Using these primitive data types, int, char, float, double. Using these data types, we can define our own data type. So, structure is what? A user defined data type. First thing is clear to you, structure is user defined data type, right? Now, we will complete the definition one by one. See, now, if I want to store these, let me just rub this first. So, here we have this information about student, different data types are there, all the variables. This is having int data type, this is string, and this is what? Float. So, can we store the different data types under a single name, under a single data type? Yes, that is structure. So, how you will write that thing? Means how you declare a structure. See, you will write struct as a keyword, you will write struct, then you will write the name of the structure. Means suppose I am taking student here. Here I am taking name of the structure is student. Then this curly braces, whatever variable you will take, just write down those things and then closing the curly braces and then put semicolon. This is declaration of structure, that's it. This is how you will declare a structure. Struct keyword, this is what? Structure name, right? Or you can say the tag, structure tag, right? And these are what? Roll number, marks and name. These are what? Members of structure. This we call as members of structure, right? And what point you have to take care about declaration of structure, that are very important. At last you are supposed to put semicolon, right? So, now you can, using this, you can store a student information like for 60 students or how many students you want to store, you can store. That also we will discuss one by one, how you will store. You have to, define the objects of the structure, right? Array of objects you can also define. Everything, we will discuss one by one in later videos. This is just introduction. So, I hope it is clear to you what is structure and why we need structure. I think this is clear why we need structure. To process data of different data types. Obviously, we need structure. In real life, obviously in real world, if you want to make a software or anything, you have to process data that is of different data types. So, you cannot declare so many variables in your program, that would be very lengthy. You cannot take even arrays. Arrays is not a good solution to process this kind of data like student data, or you can say employees information, or you can say those data structure we will discuss, trees, linked list. If you want to process those data structure, then also we will need structure, right? So, structure is what? It's a user defined data type that groups elements of, or you can say variables of different data types under a single name. What is the name? Student. That is structure, or you can say structure is a collection of one or more variables of different data types that are grouped together under a single name. I think if this is clear to you, what is structure, means this is clear to you why we need structure. So, definitely you can write down your own definition in your own words, right? So, now what are some important point about structure? See, first thing, the semicolon, you have to put a semicolon here, right? Second thing is what? And see, these are members of this structure. So, two members cannot have same name. Suppose I am taking here one more thing, that is float roll number. So, here also roll number, here also roll number. This would be duplicate. So, the name cannot be same. Within the same structure, two variables cannot have same name. This you need to take care, right? Next thing is what? Here we cannot initialize this individual structure member. Like if you want to write down here, like int roll number is equal to 1, this would not be allowed. And why so? See, when you write this thing, when you write only this thing, it doesn't mean the memory has been allocated in that computer memory. No, memory has not been allocated. This is just a template, you can say. This will show the compiler how the structure is there, how the structure is laid out, right? But memory has not been allocated to these variables, to roll number, to name and to float, no, to this marks, no. This is very important point. See, this is just a data type, struct student. Like suppose if I write int, this is what data type. If I write float, in main, suppose if I write int, memory has been allocated to this? No, it's just a data type. If you write int a, yeah, now memory has been allocated to this a. How many bytes? 4 bytes, or in some compiler 2 bytes, right? So this struct student is just a data type. It's similar like struct student. It's similar to writing int, right? So memory has not been allocated to this. If you want that memory has been allocated, if you want to allocate some memory, so you have to write like this is data type, this complete struct student is data type. Now you write down the name of the variable, like here I am writing a. So here you can write any name like s, like s1 for student, comma s2 for student 2. This you can write. So now memory has been allocated to this s1. And how much memory? How much memory for this? Just calculate for this, this and this. Int roll number, how many bytes? 4. Char this, how many bytes? 20. 1 byte for char. Float this, how many byte? 4. You can just do the total of this, and this much byte has been allocated to this S1, to this S1. That we will discuss in detail, right? How to define the structure, or you can say how to know, this is called S1 is called object of this structure. How to declare, how to define these objects, how memory would be allocated, right? For 60 students, if you want to store the data, then array of objects you are supposed to define, you are supposed to take. So that also we will discuss one by one in later videos. I hope till now it is clear why we need structure and what is a structure, the definition of the structure, and how to declare the structure, and some important point about the declaration of the structure, right? So that's it for this video. Now I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.